So, as part of our check-in, how's your body? How are you doing emotionally? What's your intention? And then we negotiate a resource. We ask the client, can you tell me someplace in your life where you feel really safe? And the client says, oh yeah, you know, my relationship to my dog is just really, really amazing. And we go walking in the woods, and I say, and what's the felt sense of that like? What are the actual sensations and the energy and tissue of your body when you're in the woods with your dog? And well, I can feel my breathing. It's really easy, and I really feel like my chest, my heart is really, really open, and my tissue is smiling, you know, that it's just such a nourishing space.
Could you say the first part of that again? As a part of...
Can you talk about a place in your life where you feel really, really safe? So then, like I had a woman who was a Russian refugee, and you know, they had a very paranoid society where your neighbor could rat on you. And she said, oh yes, when I'm home in bed with the covers over my head. So what's it feel like in your body when you're in bed with the covers over your head? Well, I'm warm all over, and I can just really relax and soften, and I can really breathe. I'm not afraid to speak, and okay. So we get the client to talk about the felt sense of this power spot in the woods, this time in their life. Now sometimes in the client's intention, they've talked about wanting to work on an issue. So let's say if the client is talking about, I really want to work on my abandonment issues, and why it is that I keep recreating relationships where people leave me. So then when we negotiate the resources, say, can you get in touch with a time in your life where you felt like someone was really, really there for you, and you could really trust that they were there for you, and what that was like in the felt sense, what the actual energy and sensations of that were like in the tissue of your heart and in your chest. So do you hear that what we're trying to get the client in touch with is not a feeling, not emotional, and not a thought mental, but it's the actual somatic experience, and get them to drop into their body and to start to articulate the somatic experience. And the act of articulating that somatic experience and being present in the body clears the past. The presence is the healer. Therapeutic presence is the healer. The act of being conscious completes the evolutionary work and facilitates safety of that experience. Joaquin?
You just gave an example, a really great example about, remember a time of having a great friend or having somebody when, you know, to kind of reframe, right? Was that a reframe?
Well, right now we're just getting in touch with a resource that we'll use.
Okay, beautiful.
Now, sometimes, let's say, as we're doing the session, and what comes up is the person is dealing with feeling really, really poor.
Mm-hmm.
And again, life is cellular. When you're in love, every atom of your body is cellular. When you're feeling like you have money in your pocket, every atom of your body is feeling like you have money in your pocket. And when you're feeling broke, it's in the felt sense. You hear what I'm saying? Life is total.
It's amazing.
And we create our world by magnetizing from the felt sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's very valuable to have the client reframe. Can you get in touch with a time in your life where you felt really prosperous? And what was that like in the tissue of your body? Well, I felt really powerful in my belly. I felt really adequate down here in my genitals. You know, I really felt like a man, you know. And you really get them in their body, of the bodily felt sense of that actual experience. And then in the session, you have them go into that felt sense, and then you give them homework. I want you to picture yourself You know, because usually you dwell, you play the tape of your loneliness or your poverty. Why me, why me, why me? Oh, I'm so lonely. When's my love going to come along? And we're saying you cultivate the tape of being in love. I remember one time I was feeling very lonely and I just started chanting, I am a life abundant in love, I am a life abundant in love. And just feeling that and chanting that. And the next morning, this really juicy relationship opened up. That I changed my mental and I changed my felt sense space. Norman Vincent Peale used to say, become the kind of person who would naturally have whatever it is. Do you hear that? So we give the client homework to cultivate that felt sense because we create our world from the felt sense. So by picturing yourself successful in that situation, picturing yourself having a job, feeling what that feels like, to be really happy at work, picturing yourself in a job where you're really happy and doing that every night, the phone will ring, hey, we need somebody to do this, are you available? And you will manifest that state, that internal state will externalize itself in your life. So you hear the value of working with the felt sense, the value of working with resources.